I've been around the Quest community for a freaking while now, and any of you guys that have spent any time in the Quest 2 community will know there are some pretty strong trends regarding certain types of users. From the classic screaming kid, the hardcore lord with a full flight sim setup just for flying a glider in Rec Room, even people soloing on guitar in Echo VR lobbies. The Quest 2 community truly has a diverse range of stereotypes within it. If you own a Quest 2, you'll likely fit into one of the categories of user that I'm about to outline, or maybe you're a mix of multiple because you're special. And talking about you guys being special, I'm giving away a copy of one of my favorite VR games of all time to one of you guys, Synth Riders, for the Oculus platform. If you want to win, just drop a comment down below telling me what type of Quest 2 user that you are, as well as having, of course, liked and subscribed, as I'll be picking people from my subscribers list. Okay, so on to Quest 2 user number 1, the Look Mom No Wrist Straps user. We all know at least one Quest 2 user that does this. You'll be playing a game of Gorilla Tag or Beat Saber when you hear a loud thunk and a oh sh from another player's microphone, followed by a few seconds of awkward silence while they check for any damage before proceeding with the game once again without any wrist straps, like nothing ever happened. No matter how many times a Look Mom No Wrist Straps user does this, no matter how many monitors and TVs are broken, they never learn, as they still ain't got no time for wrist straps. And even I, as someone who does this full time, have to shamefully confess I'm kind of one of these users too. When I'm quickly rushing to record something like a monkey running after a banana, I gotta be honest, I don't always throw these things on and then proceed to drop them on my floor when I think they're attached to my wrist. No wrist straps, gang, unite. Seriously though, you should wear your wrist straps. Like, you could probably kill someone, dude.
I'm getting ready to serve. All I do is throw that ball up in the air, and when oh jeez.
Next up, I think most of us know at least one person who gets so completely sucked into the virtual world that they completely lose their footing in the real one. I like to call this type of user the sprinter. A sprinter, no matter what, as soon as shit gets real in a horror game, a zombie survival, or a competitive shooter, can't help but desperately make an actual physical in real life dash into a wall, a cabinet, or a TV out of pure adrenaline and fear. A lot of the time, these are new users that still haven't gone to grips with what's real and what's not. However, some users, even with hundreds of hours of gameplay later, still fail to understand that making a desperate dash into a wall and running over all your house pets in the process still won't stop you from being shot in super hot. Next up is the obvious one that we all knew was coming at some point in the video and need to get out of the way to continue with the rest of this. The slimy little, spamming little, ear-bursting little squeaker. These spectacular creatures can be found in any of their 4 natural habitats. These include the Echo VR lobby, as all of them are too young and are distracted by the flying toys to actually figure out how to join a game. Gorilla Tag, where they reside to their chimp-like habitat. VR Chat, where they put another species of creature known as furries into a fit of rage with even their presence. And finally, their breeding ground, Rec Room. Encroaching on their home territory can be dangerous if you're not part of their tribe, as they find what they like to call boomers a threat to their community. Boomers being literally anyone that doesn't sound like one of the chipmunks from Alvin and the Chipmunks. Now, in all seriousness, it's important to define what a squeaker actually is, because I'm sure many of you watching this right now probably think that you fall into this category just for having a squeakier voice. If that was true, I'd probably be a part of this category, because even at 18, I sound like I've just whacked myself in the nuts playing a crisscross section in a Beat Saber map. This is a common misconception, as squeakers have evolved to be far more than just a squeaky voice in a lobby. Instead, the classic traits of an actual squeaker are trolling, screaming, usually shouting profanities, continuously encroaching on a user's personal space, having hostile reaction to anyone with a mature voice, and clearly not having parents that love them. And of course, on top of all of that, then you have the squeaky voice. This is what defines a squeaker: someone that has a total disregard for a user's experience and eardrums. My advice in dealing with these types of users would be showing them a sign that you're part of their tribe by performing any of the classic Fortnite dances. Next type of user on this list is the Cheapskate VR User. This is a user that decided that buying a link cable or using Airlink with an older than your mother laptop or home PC was a good idea. They brag about being hooked up to a PC in game lobbies while they cut in and out of existence as their mom's laptop literally melts. You'd be surprised at how common these users actually are. You find them in a lot of PC VR games as they try and fit in with other actual PC VR users users, and you can almost hear their CPU melting through their microphone as they stumble through a map in Pavlov, having gone cross-eyed due to how poor their bitrate and resolution is in the headset. Please, if you're one of them or are planning on trying a link cable or air link with any laptop or PC that doesn't meet Oculus' specifications, please invest in an actual PC that won't explode when you do this. Next up is the Quest 2 Musician, the one that gets out their keyboard, their DJ set, guitar, and begins to blast it into their Quest 2's microphone in the lobby of a game. 99.9% of these users are obnoxious assholes that seek attention and are the first to be muted whenever someone joins a server. However, there is a 0.1% of this type of user that are actually genuinely talented and will take song requests and create an amazing vibe within a given game. From wholesome moments by a virtual campfire to insane solos on a virtual stage, this 0.1% needs more credit for being beacons of hope in the VR community. But Jesus Christ, that other 99.9% need to really get it together. Now, next up is the non-Quest 2 user. We've all encountered this user at least once. Someone that owns something like an Index and they have it hooked up to a powerful gaming PC only to just hang around in lobbies bragging about it. These types of users will usually casually approach you and ask you what headset you are using in order to have an excuse to blurt out what headset they are using. What headset you using, bro? Quest 2. Ah, cool, bro. Me personally, I'm rocking the Index, you know what I'm saying? Got that 3090 on a stack, bro. Keep it 100. Oh, God, for real. Dude, shut the f. Next up is, of course, the Boomer. Kind of a cliche one, but these are your grandpas and grandmas that were gifted a Quest 2 on Christmas without knowing what they were walking into when they join an anime-only VR chat world. Surprisingly, these users actually generally do okay with the hardware itself. Part of this is down to the Quest 2 having just such great ease of use and ease to set up, but also due in part of how natural doing things in VR is generally. It's really a testament to the platform as a whole. However, what these boomers lack is any grasp or even slight understanding on what they're walking into when they join to what they think to them is just a VR chatting app. You sometimes get glimpses of these users in lobbies. Usually they stand there watching a group of anime girl avatars look at themselves in mirrors in pure disgust and confusion. Not to mention the fear when they forget how to actually quit the app as a whole and are now stuck in a world of 30-year-old men dressed as anime schoolgirls. It's important to help direct these boomer users into apps that they may like and understand more, rather than leave them in a state of confusion and fear as they're approached by a furry and throw the headset off and never dare to touch VR again. Generally, help your fellow VR boomer get to grips with what the f is going on. Now, next up is the Hardcore Lord. This is the type of Quest 2 user that take every single game so insanely seriously that they're shuffling along the ground in real life, doing commando rolls in an attempt to sneak up on enemies, and have a fully functioning gun stock with a bipod and a sling, and treat paintball and rec room like it's the goddamn Vietnam War. These users never snap out of their hardcore mindset. Once that headset is on, you bet they'll be screaming at you to get into proper cover and stack up on them to breach a room full of squeakers and rec room like it's Rainbow Six Siege. Although these types of users can be intense and even honestly a little scary, if you get them on your team, you become an unstoppable force of nature, literally mowing down anyone that crosses your path using pure skill and communication. Do not underestimate or ignore these players in a combat environment, because you definitely don't want to be on the other end of this. Next up is the open Mica, the user that still hasn't realized that their mic is on by default and you can hear the in and outs of every one of their family members' lives in the background. It still amazes me to this day just how many users don't even consider this. There's nothing funnier than listening to some 40-year-old dude get in an argument with his wife during a game of Echo VR while their fire alarm goes off in the background and their dog barks. Hanging around these users really makes you realize just how insane some people's lives are outside of the VR world. And the final type of Quest 2 user is the type of user that is just dripping in swag because they bought the newly released GetHip merch, baby. If you want the dope hoodie that I've been wearing this entire video and want to up your drip game in VR, hit the link in the description down below. This is my first time doing merch, so if you buy the merch and tag me in an image of you wearing it, I'll repost it on my social socials like Instagram and Twitter, because I worked really hard on getting a dope design done, and it says become hip in Japanese, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. So anyone that supports me via buying this is so cool. So hope you guys like my first attempt into the merch world. I think it came out pretty well. I want to see what you guys think as well. And of course, if you want to win yourself that Simp key, just drop a comment down below on what type of Quest 2 user you think that you are, as well as having, of course, liked and subscribed, as I'll be picking people from my subscribers list. And the giveaway winner from the last video's giveaway is Ollie MT. I'll be contacting you through the reply to that comment or over on your channel discussion page, so feel free to reply to me on either of those two avenues. Thank you all for the support recently. We should be able to easily hit 100k by the end of the year, so hopefully I don't this whole YouTube thing up, because this is all I've ever wanted to do, like, ever. So thank you everyone that watches my dumbass make jokes about whacking myself in my nutsack every video. I really appreciate it. Thank you, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace. Bye bye. I really hope you guys like this merch, and at least maybe a couple of people will actually buy it. Worked really hard on this design. I'm super happy with how it turned out. I also have a Twitch at twitch.tv/GetHip, where I stream pretty regularly on, so feel free to ask me any questions live there. Also, obviously, my Instagram and Twitter, I post different things to those platforms as well, so feel free to check me out on those platforms too. Thank you again for all the support recently. You guys are the best. I'm gonna get to work on this video. Hope that this merch actually sells to some people. Okay, thank you.